Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. I am with you guys today to do a tutorial. I'm getting kind of in the Halloween spirit, and for that means kind of an October daily / fall album. I have bought them in the past, and recently I found this fabric at Dollar Tree, and it kind of reminded me of the velvet albums that scrapbook.com sold last year for Christmas. And I thought, well, I make my own album, so why don't I try it out? And so it worked out great. I did do a little mistake on the tutorial, but as you will see, I will show you some other albums I've made, and that has never been an issue. These are all fabric covered albums. These are just birthday albums for my son. So this is my son's birthday when he turned 5. And so as you can see, we just have some stitching. This is just plain on the inside. This is fabric. In the bottom, I will link everything that I can as far as any of the things that you might need, such as your mechanism, the rivets that are going to go on here to hold it. Then you'll need chipboard, you'll need paper. So here's my little boo-boo on this one. You see right here, I did not put adhesive on both sides of this spine, and so this kind of bubbled up when it closed, but I will find a way to fix that. Other than that, this is beautiful. It's the first time I've done an album with this big of a ring. My my October albums tend to be pretty interactive, so I need it to be as big as possible. What I link below, it'll be different sizes, and you can just decide kind of what size ring that you'll need. Here is my son's 4th birthday album. We did a farm theme, so again, this on all of them eventually I will put some kind of dangle, but his was like turning 4 on the farm. And so again, just a fabric cover. The stitching here is optional, it's not necessary, but I just like the way that it looks. And here I added a pocket. But these are much narrower. They're just for his birthday each year. And there's not a lot of pop-ups or anything, and so I don't need these to be as wide here. There's another one. And then I have one more right here. It's my son's 1st birthday, and it was a woodland themed. So, as you can see, I've been making these for a while. I really like how they turned out. None of them had that buckling issue I had with the one in the tutorial. But again, add your adhesive on both sides here and that won't be an issue. So those are just some examples. And so stay tuned. We are going to make this together. Again, check the description for anything that you might need. If there's anything that I forget and any questions that you have, go ahead and let me know. And let's go ahead and make this fun little album. So for this project, you're going to need some type of fabric. This is just a cheap one from Dollar Tree. It has kind of that like velvety feel, or look, not feel, look. You're gonna need your binder mechanism. Now I will link below. I have 2 different sizes. My October albums tend to be pretty interactive and need a lot of space. And so this is a, I think 2 3/4 inch, maybe a little bit more binder ring. You're gonna need the little pieces, and I cannot think what they're called right now, that you will use to kind of pop in here to connect it. And there is a little kit that I had gotten, I believe, on Amazon. And so they have these, or they have the ones that you can kind of screw in. But if you use these, you'll need some kind of hammer. You're gonna need some fabric tack. For my albums, I usually do a kind of decorative stitching around. Here's a fall one that I did. This isn't necessary for like the construction of the album. I just like the way that it looks. We have some chipboard. So depending on the size of your spine, the size of your ring, your spine might be different in width. But for this size, 2.75 by 9, and then we're going to need a front and back cover that is 8.5 by 9. We're going to need some strips of paper, and this is just scrap that I had, to connect our spine to our front and back cover. And then you'll need your decorative paper. For this one example, it's this brown. You'll need to decide whatever your decorative paper is going to be as well. So from here, we can start. We're just going to lay our pieces out, and hopefully you can see all of this. I'm going to move some of this extra stuff out of the way for now. And then here is our spine. So we are going to connect. And you don't want to do it flush like this. You want to give it some space. That way when it bends, it can kind of open and close freely. So we're just going to kind of eyeball this. I have one piece of paper here. And you can use regular glue for this. I will be using like just regular craft glue. I have art glitter glue, but it's separated and that hurts my heart. But for now, I'm just going to use just some cheapy school glue. Again, I'm going to sew all of this together. If you're not going to do that, then maybe use a better adhesive, maybe some double-sided tape if you would like. So I'm just going to add some glue here. And stick this here on our paper. It doesn't have to be perfect, we're just kind of eyeballing halfway. Alright. And then we're going to do the same on this side, just a little bit of glue right here. Alright, and then stick it like that. And again, we're going to leave some space. So we're going to let that dry for a second, and then we're going to do the same for this side. And we are just going to cut a little notch out of this. I don't want to add any bulk right here, so we're just going to kind of in. And someone was like, "Oh, I got these tarot cards." And if you can hear it in the background, I have YouTube on the computer. Again, hopefully the camera angle is good. I haven't done a video in so long. And have I ever even done a tutorial? I don't know. We're just going to cut out some of that bulk. And then we're going to bend these up. It's just going to give a little bit more support here. And again, this is going to be covered. It doesn't matter that it's silly paper right there. So you're just going to glue these little pieces down. And again, whatever your adhesive of choice. And you can wrap this with paper instead of fabric. So this is just a good little basic album. So I'm just going to glue these down. I'll be right back. So I actually cut another sheet of paper. I want a little bit more support here with this spine, and so I'm just going to add some right here and right here. I'm going to glue this down. I'm just taking my nail and kind of creasing where I can feel that crease is. Alright, and we got that side. And same here, I can feel the crease right there. I'm just going to kind of take my nail, you can use a bone folder, and crease that like that. So then you can see here is kind of the base of our album. This will fit right in here. And I think it's going to be wonderful. So I'm going to set this aside, let it dry a little bit while we get our fabric ready. So I'm just going to take this down. And this should hopefully be exactly what I need it to be. And I typically do the top and bottom. We're just going to do it. Again, I am going to stitch this, so I'm not going to go crazy with the glue, but you'll definitely want to use more than I am using if you do not plan on stitching this. So, I just want it to hold while I'm constructing it until I can get it stitched. So, do top and bottom typically. Alright, and then bottom. And so I'm kind of pulling it as I'm setting it down. Alrighty, so I'm gonna let that set a second, and then we're gonna turn it and do our edges. Start over here, start trimming up this extra fabric, very thin, and isn't adding a lot of bulk to my album. So I think it's cute. So this is how it's looking. It definitely has where it feels better this way than that way, so I'm going to make sure that this is my front. There's that. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cover the inside of this. So I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to do it probably, so this is 9 tall, so I'm going to do it just under 9 for my paper. And so what I'm going to do now is stitch all the way around, just a basic straight stitch, probably in silver, because silver will be my color of choice for this, and then I will be right back. Alrighty guys, we are back, and so I have stitched this, but don't do what I did. So I stitched it and I didn't adhere this down with tape. So if you remember, I just kind of did the outside. You should actually make sure you do it along both sides of your spine, because as you can see, this is kind of bubbling in there. I will find a way to make it work. There's no way that I am going to redo any of this, but just keep that in mind. If you were going to sew it, add your adhesive on both sides of these first, so hopefully you will not get this bubbling effect. So we are back here. We have our mechanism. I have a page protector that I have just misplaced. And this is another reason I do a lot of trim along my edges, is to hide any of this kind of inconsistency. Alright, so we need to have our sheet in there just so we can kind of better guesstimate where to put this. So we want it to be able to sit flat. Gonna make sure wherever you're gonna do it at, you can close your book all the way, which here that is possible.
It's on sale now. I have lots of them, so don't panic. You don't have to miss what's going on. But it's up on the
Alright, so even top to bottom.
But look how beautiful. Look at that blue color wash.
Forget this, so we're just gonna mark here.
When you look at the kit, the price went up a little bit, but it's because I added more stuff.
Mark there.
And two,
we're gonna use our crocodile. And my crocodile tends to go through this just fine. Just like that. A little bit of that. We're going to do the other side.
Then we have these little banner strips, and then, oh my goodness, color swatch tags.
Okay.
And then look at
cut
these.
through no problem.
Love this paper.
And then remember, we want our flat part to be on the inside. So then we're going to take this. Here are these, again, I cannot remember what they are called, but check the size of this one. And I think that is a wonderful size. So we need 2 of each piece. So you have 2 pieces that have kind of the back piece, and then you have 2 pieces that don't have that. Those. We're going to get these little pieces here. Alright, can I actually get rid of this page for a minute?
It's called Full Bloom. Full Bloom, and it's a black for your machine or your circle punches. So I absolutely love this. It's called spinning.
Well, this is how it ended up turning out. Again, the only thing that I really am disappointed in and would advise against is this little bubble here. Again, that can be taken care of putting adhesive on both sides of your fold of your spine. But other than that, I just set some sheets in here from my most recent fall album. But look how nice that looks. So much room in there. You can add so many things. This, you have a little bit of space here off to the side, to where if you want to add your fun pom-pom trims, tassel trims, things like that, it would fit there. See, it looks great from top to bottom and front to back, and we made this all on our own and a lot less expensive than a pre-made album would be. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Again, I will have any of the things that I can think of that you would need to order linked below, and let me know what you guys think. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.